Hello, beautiful moms and entrepreneurs. My name is Charisse Walker, and I'm your host of the Unbreakable Mompreneurs podcast. This is a place where we come together to learn, grow, and inspire. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. Hello, Unbreakable Mompreneurs. My name is Charisse Walker, your host. Are you just getting ready to start your business and you're not sure how much to charge? You'd like to charge more, but you're like, I can't ask that much because I don't feel comfortable with that. Well, we are going to talk about that as well as a few other things in that same perspective of making sure that you have value and you need to charge for your value the way that other people would. So without further ado, Kanika Vasudeva is in our studio. And why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
Thank you so much, Charisse. So happy to be here. So I am an energy expansion coach, and I love helping coaches and entrepreneurs really expand their income, their visibility, and their clients.
That's the biggest struggle with people right now, is that it's how do you get more visibility? So what is your advice?
Yeah, and there's so many things that going on there. Like we have Instagram and people feel like, oh, I've got to post so many times a day and then not getting that many views. There are expectations that we have, the things that we're supposed to do, and we really feel pressured because of that. A lot of times when my clients come to me, they come to me with passion, but they're just so overwhelmed. And here's the beautiful thing. To start making money in your business or to start really getting revenue, you actually don't need to do much. You don't even need to have a website. You don't need to get it SEO ready. You can just be online. You can have a way of being visible. Like, let's look at the nuts and bolts, right? Especially if you're a coach, all that you want is just some way in which you will deliver the thing. That could be something as simple as Zoom, and then some place where you're storing the documents. If you're doing one whole membership portal, whatever that is for you, you could just start with online cloud storage, just that. And then a call booking system where people will come in, they'll book their time, and even that you could just do manually for some time. Like, really, that's all that you need. So in terms of being visible, in terms of really getting out to your clients, know that you start things with your passion. So you start with something that, oh, I really love doing this. And don't let that baby go away, because that's your drive, Joe. So now when you're visible, I want to share in the world, then you think, all right, what do my clients really feel? What are their pain points? And so play with it a little bit and then bring out those things. And it's simpler, right? Don't put the expectation that, oh, I've got to do it so many times a day, but do it more. What are your clients struggling with? Think of it as a place where you can reach out to your audience. And even if you have just a few 200 followers, you can still convert people from there. So look at what is it your clients will be, how you speak with them. And often, more than the quantity, focus on the quality. It's your message that converts. It's your message that conveys the value. People will hear you and go, I want to work with this person. So that's the art.
I love that. And
the right messaging.
My internet is not very good today, and so we got a little choppy in a few areas. What I loved is that you talked about, it doesn't matter how many followers, it doesn't matter, like you don't have to post. I mean, that's great advice. That think about the problem, the people, the pain or pleasure is what we always talk about. That how are you bringing people away from pain or to pleasure? And if you can touch on those things, you can grow and you will expand. It just takes time.
Yes. And even with that, it may or may not, right? Like even the first few people who are engaging with you, like go out, engage with them, find the right platform. So if you are not finding traction somewhere early on, see what things are working for you. You might go out and post on LinkedIn or Instagram and so on. And then just see where are you getting the traction. Do one thing and do it really, really well, instead of doing 10 things and not being able to focus really well. So get one thing right. So early on, when you're just starting out, start out with the platforms that you feel will be a match for you. and then see what happens. Where is your traction really happening? And wherever it resonates, that's your place to go. And then fine tune your message. Like, look at what you do, what gets the traction, and what doesn't get the traction. So it's the messaging, not as much the hooks or the trends. And I'm talking about Insta, but see engaging with you get that comment or the like, what happened? So the trick really is in that message. You know, even very well-known doctors. So it used to be like doctors are getting booked because they're just so popular. Whereas now people go out and then just check, what is this doctor saying about this? Does it really align with me? And think of services that you've hired. Maybe you've gone to coaches and you've gone, okay, what do they speak? What do they talk about? So you check out their social media and you see which one resonates, and then you pick someone, even for that first interaction, even for signing up maybe for their emails or a freebie or reaching out for that first call, but you do a little. So people get booked not because they're so-called high authority as much, but people get booked because they're really relevant to the buyer.
That's true. That's very true. And it's, yeah, if you can get one to many, even these people, we talk about Oprah or Tony Robbins, they get paid to speak and they're known very, very well. But there's other people that they can make just as much money and they're not known at all. So it's great advice, making sure that you have your message really dialed in. Okay, so let's talk about pricing. You talk about how someone freezes when they go to either make an offer or make a pitch, and then they're almost embarrassed to ask for what they think that they deserve or want. So what happens there?
That's a lovely question, because I have worked with so many clients, and myself included. There is not one person, one coach, even people I've talked to, there's not one person who said that, oh, I started out overpricing or just correctly pricing. Not one. We all start with a price and we go, this might be way too high. Or can I really do this? And then you start doing it and you realize the transformation you're bringing. And then you go, oh, this is my real self. But the psychology behind this is that, especially as women and men too, but we get trained in society that somehow we as we are is just not good enough. Like there's a good girl, good boy, good man, women. And there's always something that you have to do, and that's good. The rest is not good. So there's this outward validation that we seek. And especially a heartless business is an inward journey and an outward ripple where we're really understanding our own worth, growing our own worth, that, oh, this is what I can do. This is the transformation that I bring. And then you're able to charge more for this service. But there are a couple of things that happen when you're charging more. You're actually bringing in a lot more transformation because you're more confident. Your message, your energy brings about that transformation. Also, when you are charging higher prices, your clients are paying higher prices. And most likely, when they're paying in higher prices, they're really ready for that transformation. Think about it. You might pay, a couple of bucks extra at a grocery store because you wanted a different piece of salmon, and that one is organic and so on. But that's not as close to your heart. You might have bought something just as an impulse purchase when you were online shopping or when you went out to the markets and something looked pretty. And has it happened that you look at that and you go, okay, I'm just not going to use it at all. Like it just sort of goes away, even if you felt it was pretty and you needed it or you would maybe want it. Did you ever have any unwanted new purchased items?
I do. I did one last night that I'm like, it's $100. Do I want to pay this or do I not want to pay this? Do I have time for this? It was a coaching session, right? And so, yeah, I have that all the time.
Yeah. But then where you truly invest, and if it's like a significant investment, because as a coach, your transformation will happen for the client when you are really able to bring your best self. So if you're operating from the energy of, well, I haven't been paid fully, or you're working more, the universe has a big way of balancing it out. And also your clients, if you have to pay, let's say $2,000 for a session, you will really show up for that, or most people will. because it's like, oh, I paid this much, this got to be worth something. There's a lot more skin involved there. So you'll truly try and deliver, and you'll truly extract the value, you'll do the work. So it's a gift both ways to be charging the price that you're worth. And the more you realize your worth, please increase your prices, because that's a gift of transformation that you give to your clients as well.
Amen to that. You know, it's interesting because I had a friend once, well, an acquaintance, that called and said, "Hey, Charisse, I want you to I want to take you out to dinner, you and your husband, with my wife, and I want you to teach me everything you know about this industry." And I'm like I had spent multiple six figures. I'm not going to tell you, first of all, I can't in a dinner. Second of all, I'm not going to give it to you for free because you're not going to appreciate it. And it's interesting because if you charge, you're going to separate yourself. I had this one guy I met on the plane, and he's like, "Hey, I want to learn all this stuff about it." And so I said, "Okay, it's a new system I'm starting, or a new program. You're my flagship, so I'm only going to charge this much." And he wouldn't even invest in that, you know? And I'm like, well, good, because I don't want people that aren't going to take the time to learn the information. Because if I'm going to charge, I want it to change their lives. And same thing, I wrote this book, and my ex-husband's like, "Well, are you going to give it to me?" And I'm like, "No." He goes, "Well, why not?" And I said, "Because you're not going to read it." "Well, how much are you going to charge me?" "The price of the book." "Really?" I said, "Yeah." And guess what? He's read the whole thing cover to cover. He's doing all the work in the workbook. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, Charisse, this is such good information. This is such great advice." And I'm like, "Good, because you paid for it, you know?" And I think that we tend to devalue ourselves when in reality, we're doing a disservice to other people.
Absolutely. To other people, to us, like you cannot serve from an empty cup or a less than full cup. You really get drained somewhere. It just does not bring about that transformation. So yeah, pricing really dictates how much people are able to invest in. Now, I know a lot of people go, "Well, but I really want all of this to be affordable." You can have affordable options, but you really cannot be giving energetically more if your business is not financially abundant for you, then you are over giving. And that just does not work. The universe will balance itself, and it has ways of showing it to tell you that you need to align your prices.
I agree. 100% agree. Yep. Well, you have such good advice. You talk about the results that your clients get in 30 days. So can you touch on that?
Yeah, so my approach is very customized. There's a special program that I'm running for coaches and entrepreneurs, and it's just packed with value. As in, there is energetic work that we do together around money blocks, around pricing, all the stuff that really goes on with us. Because when you are changing the world, when you're changing others' lives, you're really changing and doing all that crash course within you as well. A little bit an engineer by background, so worked a lot in corporate roles, and I really take people step by step around how you should really think about your business. A lot of us can start with our passion. You don't really know how to separate that for a business. Like, what does that CEO mindset look like? What are the activities you should focus on? Like right in the beginning, we talked around visibility. A lot of people can just have supposed to do these 10 things. And what I teach people, you're going to focus on one or two. So we just focus on the right buckets. It's very strategic and very tactile support where people get advice in the terms of how do they get the leads? How do they get the clients? Exactly what is the conversation that they have so that they can offer the transformation that they provide. So it's really a full system support, energetic, strategic, practical, to help them start making money, to help them have the visibility and the impact that they desire. And that starts happening within the first month itself. And then the revenue goes steadily. And you really feel empowered and you empower others. That's my greatest joy to bring to people.
Thank you so much. So how would somebody get a hold of you?
The best way to do that is to book a sales audit with me. So go to Kanika Energy Coach. You'll find me on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Instagram, and just message me there and we can have a little chat. Or if you're on my website, pop up to ART Art of Life Center. So ART Art of Life, Life, Center, Center. And I'll do a free sales audit for you. We'll look at your sales process. We'll look at what's happening, whether you are getting leads or you're not getting leads. We'll pop up some ideas around what you can really do to bring in that flow, what's really happening with your client call or your sales, why your offer isn't converting, why aren't you really getting the amount that you wish to have right now, why is your income goal not getting reached. So we'll work through all of that. You'll for the next step. But that's my gift to you, to just help you see your own sales from a very new perspective.
I love that. I love that so much. Well, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you, Charisse. It's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
And Unbreakable Moms, you owe it to yourself to get started. If you're struggling and you have an idea and you're not quite sure, she has such a great program that you check out and get a hold of her. So go out and make it a great day. Beautiful moms, remember, you are unbreakable. Keep illuminating the world with your strength, pursuing your dreams, and reveling in the splendor of motherhood. This is Charisse Walker, bidding you farewell for now. Stay tuned for more empowering conversations on the next episode of the Unbreakable Mompreneurs podcast. Until then, keep shining bright. Signing off with love, Charisse Walker.